I'm Captain Steve Chaconis, and welcome to the National Bass Fishing Show. Today we're going to talk about your jigs. A lot of people are making their own shaky heads or making their own jigs, swim jigs, spinner baits. When it comes to painting those lead heads, we run into all kinds of options and problems. Well, sometimes we could take powder coating and try to do that. Then you got to bake it in the oven to make it durable, or you use spray paint and that comes off after a while, or fingernail polish. Anything you use is kind of temporary and it won't work really that well. Well, I just found this, and I got it from lurepartsonline.com. I talked to Kim Straley because I get all of my do-it-yourself stuff from them. I make all my soft plastic baits. I get my molds, the glitter, the dyes, the plastic, everything for jigs, spinner baits. They have everything there. Well, now she has Stardust. So she's told me this Stardust is incredible stuff, so we're going to show you. But before we do, I'm going to read you the directions to this. It says, heat your part well with a small torch. Dip it in the Stardust powder for 2 seconds. Then you heat it again and the powder so that it becomes homogenized, and circle the jig and put eyes on it or not. Dip it in water, shake for about 10 seconds, no baking needed, and boom, you're ready to fish. Well, we're gonna try it. This is green pumpkin, and this is called Stardust, and it's unbreakable Stardust. All right, so we're gonna start with the jig, and we've got one right here. Got a package of these things, and there's no paint on them, okay? No paint. And I'm going to get some vice grips because we don't want to burn ourselves. It's always, I like using vice grips because you don't not pliers. You know, you use pliers and you got to hold on to them, right? With vice grips, you just lock them in place at an angle that's going to be comfortable for you, and you're ready to go. Now you get your lighter. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Do not use a Bic. Do not use a Zippo. Don't use a candle. You can use gas from your stove in the house. That'll work. Butane is the best. All that other stuff leaves carbon behind and makes everything a little black. So it'll make your lead black, then it'll make the powder black. And if you want a black jig, then that's okay. But if you want green pumpkin, which is what we're working on, I'm going to do it with a butane lighter. So we're going to open this up. And you can see it's a granular powder, just like you'd expect. And we're going to go ahead and heat this up for about 10 seconds or so and get it nice and hot all the way around. And another reason you want to use pliers, because this will get pretty hot. So I get the flame going. I'm going to go ahead and heat this sucker up. Heat it all the way around, rotate it. I'm not so concerned about getting the body of the bait. I just want that ball head. I want that ball to be nice and hot and get the paint on it, okay? So I'm rotating it around, getting the whole thing nice and hot on the head, upside down near the hook eye. So it's hot now, and I'm gonna dip it in here. She said 2 seconds, so 1001, 1002. All right, so now that I'm done with that, I'm gonna tap off some of the excess. Okay, so I've tapped off the excess. That's what it looks like. It kind of looks like it's like chewing gum you dropped on the floor and it's picked up all that stuff that's on the floor. Well, we're going to smooth this out. We're going to use the lighter again. And the lighter, we're going to do it this time for, I don't know, 2 or 3 seconds till it gets smooth. And you'll see it as I go. This thing will start to get smooth. As the heat gets to it, it'll smooth it out. And again, I'm rotating it around. You see it's already starting to get shiny and smooth and get that kind of finish that we want on our jig heads. That's also going to make it a lot harder to break. This stuff is like almost unbreakable. I've been playing around with it for a couple of days and have not been able to break any of these things. So now that I've got it nice and hot, I'm going to swirl it around in water, bring it up for about 10 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. Okay, out of the water. Swirl it around a little bit. I'm not sure what this does, but it's hocus pocus or something. But you can see, boy, that is one shiny jig head. Look at that. Look at that. That's what you want your jig heads to look like. You know, and this part, I don't really color that. I don't want to get anything on there that's going to interfere with that barb. I want that barb to hold. You won't see it anyway, but look at that. That's exactly what you try to have. It's done. I don't have to stick it in the oven. We're ready to go fishing with it. But another problem we have when we go fishing is sometimes we're down to our last jig and we've been using green pumpkin all day and we have no more jigs left in that color. But what we do have is a red one. Yeah, we got a red one, but we don't like the red one. So we're going to see how well Stardust does when it comes to recoating a jig that's already been painted. Let's see what happens. All right, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to heat it up. We're going to use the lighter. Same rules apply. We're going to heat this up and get it nice and hot. And when we get it hot, then we're going to dip it in for 2 seconds. We got our flame going. And we're heating this thing up. Heating the side, the top, the other side. Heating it pretty well, the nose of it. Heat that thing up too. But you want to get it hot. That's the whole thing. You want to get this thing very, very hot. Otherwise, the powder will not stick to it. Dip it in for 2 seconds. That's 1001, 1002. Okay, we're going to take this out. All right, so here we are, chewing gum on the floor again. It kind of has picked up hair, cat hairs, picked up everything. I like to close the bottle when I'm not using it because what happens to me a lot of times is I talk with my hands and this thing will go flying across the room and we'll have powder coat everywhere. But this is Stardust. You get it at lurepartsonline.com. They have a lot of different colors. Try some out. Let's see what we can do here. This was red. It was like this. I took the eyes off of it, but it was red. Took the eyes off before we started. See, I've already bumped that. I would have tipped that over. Fire it up again. Again, what we're going to do is we're going to get it hot until we see that the paint is starting to go glossy on us. Yeah, we like that. That looks really good. I went down a little further than I do normally, but that'll be fine. Yeah, it's getting nice and shiny. Moving it around, get the top of it. I like to hit the eye a little bit. It kind of keeps the paint out of the eye. All right, 10 seconds, 1001, 1002, 1003. But if you get paint in the eye, don't worry about it because what you can do is you can heat up. I use a safety pin or a straight pin, or I use an old spinnerbait wire. I heat it up and I go ahead and I put it through there. We'll shake this around a little bit. There we go. Look at that. That is, oh man, that used to be red. Remember that? It used to be red. It used to be like this. And now it's like this. See? Look at that. Wow. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, there we go. We got a good shot of it there. So if you want to get some, go to lurepartsonline.com. And it's called, are you ready for this? It's called Stardust. New product. I think that's the only place you get it is from lurepartsonline.com. Kim Straley's wonderful to work with. Get some of your molds for your soft plastics that you want to make. I'm also working on a project where I'm making swim baits. I'm making swim baits with some molds that I picked up from Lure Parts Online. I'm Steve Chaconis. Thanks for watching the National Bass Fishing Show.